Schiemann Guitars is located in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina, by guitar craftsman Matt Schiemann, where he handcrafts each guitar with precision. The guitars are custom one-of-a-kind instruments, ranging from Telecaster and Stratocaster styles to unique designs. And before transitioning to guitar making, Matt earned a fine arts degree and had spent 15 years as a ceramic artist. And you might say, what makes these guitars so unique? Well, they are made from old reclaimed barn wood from tobacco barns. Isn't that cool? With cracks and nail holes preserved to give them that cool rustic look. Hi, we're here with Matt Schiemann. He's a guitar craftsman at Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. How you doing, Matt?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. So you've got some pretty nice guitars that you've been making. Can you tell us some history of how you got started in being a craftsman?
Sure. Actually, I didn't start off making guitars. I started off in ceramics. I was a potter. So I went to school at Ashland University, graduated with an art degree there, went on to get my master's degree in ceramics, ran a ceramic facility in Florida for 12 or 15 years, somewhere around there. And then when we moved up here to North Carolina from Florida, it was during COVID and all that. And I think it was just one of those change inspires change, and I started getting into building guitars just as a hobby, and really one thing led to another where it ended up becoming the profession. It wasn't something I was seeking out. It just kind of built and happened. It was just worked out that way. Well, I've always liked playing, but I was kind of casual with playing. So, I started tinkering with pickups, and that's where my natural sense of curiosity comes from, is just how things work and all that. So I started, taking apart my own guitars, and that was interesting. And, one thing led to another, that I wanted to be able to actually try making one instead of just replacing pickups and things like that.
So so how long have you been doing this now?
Still relatively new at it. I'm on 4 years of doing it now, full time.
Only 4 years, really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And you've got awards. I mean, tell us a little bit what's going on since you started doing it and how you got yourself known out there, because apparently some people love your guitars.
Oh, that's good to hear. Really, I just started building and posting on social media. Social media has been a huge part of it. So, posting on there, I got invited out to Woodwire and Volts last year, which was a huge thing. So I got to be able to be there with like Black Volt, amplifications, Built Guitars was there. I mean, there's a lot of really big names within the guitar business. So that was a huge thing to be able to do. And before that, I won an award for, what was it called? Best in Craft, I think, in North Carolina, for one of the tobacco style guitars I was making.
Right. Your Amarillo guitar seems to be the most popular, right?
Yeah, and that's what probably I would get the most requests for, is making is the Amarillo, which is just essentially my version of a Telecaster.
Okay. Why is it the most popular?
Well, I think Tellies in general are pretty popular. People just seem to love them. They're like, they're the bread and butter guitar of everything.
Yeah.
I tend to make those in a style that is going into North Carolina here and using old tobacco barns and taking those down and repurposing the wood.
That's cool.
And there's just something about Tellies and kind of old beat up things that just work together really well.
Right.
And people seem to like the knowing that there's a history to the wood and all that too.
Right.
I mean, the wood can definitely be the main inspiration behind the object.
So when you built your first guitar, were you looking at making it sort of going toward a Strat or a Telly?
Oh, it was a Telly, the first one that I made.
Really?
What I wanted to do was I wanted a Telly custom, the one with like the wide range humbucker in the neck and the regular Telly in the bridge. I wanted one for myself, so I was like, I'll just make one. And when you're first getting into this business, you think, oh, it'll be cheaper to just make it myself, and then you don't realize how many tools and specialty items you need. And
yeah, right.
I could have bought 10 of those guitars at this point instead of just making one.
Right. So your pickups are custom made too, aren't they?
Some are. I'm either winding my own or I'm using Lollars, so it's one of the two.
How did you pick up the craft of winding your own?
Same type of thing. I've been using Lollars forever, and I think it's another more of the curiosity of the whole thing. Like, you want to know how things work, so that is a whole nother craft and everything too. So I'm just starting to really get into winding and all that now. So I'm still learning that part of it.
How would you explain to someone that your guitars are significantly different than any others?
Well, in terms of the Telecaster, if it we're talking about just the barnwood itself, that's going to be a pretty, unique thing, especially to our area. But I'm also trying to take a lot of vintage aspects and trying to modernize them a little bit. My offset guitars, I think, are much more of a more modern take on some classics. Like the Piedmont and the Maduro are very much based off of the Jazzmaster Jaguar kind of offset guitars and all that. So taking some classics and trying to bring in some more modern feels and you know looks to them and everything.
So you're still coming out with different styles as well?
Yeah, still just constantly trying to work on new things and refining them. So the Maduro, I think, is actually going to be shelved here pretty soon to get replaced by the Piedmont because that's I think a better looking guitar in my opinion and a little more versatile for what I want to be able to do. That was also why I'm trying to go through because I have like the Maduro, the Piedmont, and the Varina, and they're all kind of all based off the Jaguar. So I'm trying to streamline that down and just have one model that is where it's taking some aspects of the Jazzmaster and kind of combining that with the Strat, so trying to marry two guitars.
So you are involved in guitar shows?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
often are you going to those?
I try to set aside time to be able to do one or two a year. The B3 show that happens in Asheville, that's a good one. And then there's another one in Nashville, and I'm forgetting the name of it off the top of my head, but that's also a good show. And I'll probably try to do those two as well this year.
What were your influences in your guitar playing to begin with?
My guitar playing, and I've always liked country music. Chris Stapleton's one of my favorites by far. So I think that's also probably why I was gravitating towards the Telecaster. And then with Chris Stapleton, he's also big in he plays a Jazzmaster a lot. So I think there's a lot of influences probably coming from him and choosing the type of guitars that I'm making and all that.
How many different styles do you make? Are you just keeping different kinds of styles of the shapes that you're making?
Well, nothing is very like I've got the Piedmont that is my own body shape and everything. So I'm really trying to develop that one. But then I'll get requests all the time for different styles and stuff. Like right now I'm making a barnwood one that's based off of a Les Paul Jr., but he also wanted a Telecaster neck pickup put in it. And he also wanted the guitar bigger than a Les Paul Jr., like in between a Les Paul Jr. and a 335. So we had to make a whole new template for it and make different sizes for the body and all those kind of things. So when people come with me with ideas, it's really a wide open thing. I mean, we can do whatever. We can do just about anything. We'll talk about the scale length that they want, wood that they're going to be using, the pickup choices, the hardware. So, I mean, you can literally design the guitar with me from the ground up if you want, or you can choose something that is already kind of out there and just tweak it a little bit and whatever. But it's pretty wide open.
Do you do inlays?
I do a little bit of inlays. Whenever I do inlays, it's all hand done. I'm not using any CNC machines or anything like that. So my inlays tend to be just block. I'm not getting too crazy with inlays quite yet. But
What kind of audience are you looking for when you're building your guitars?
it's a pretty wide audience that I have. I mean, it's really anybody from hobbyists who have extra money that just like to play guitar on the side. I've got session players in Nashville who have a couple of my guitars. I have a couple of professionals that have them. So it's really a wide audience. I'm not discriminating. If you're a hobbyist, that's fine by me. If you're just a Joe Schmo who wants the better guitar, that's fine. If you're a professional player, that's fine too. I mean, they're all going to be crafted to the same level. I make my own pick guards, so they're all based off of, for the most part, they're cast acrylic, unless it's just sometimes people want a basic, just black, white, black, 3-ply kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.